500 miles and I would walk 500 more, just to be the man who walked 1,000 miles to fall down at Sutton.
Right, today we're off to Ardchattan. There's some ruins, an old priory, some grave slabs, some other stuff.
Very interesting story.
Yeah, Julie's researched it, so she knows all about it. Julie's having some issues trying to get a Volvo down this single track road. Right, we've made it to the ruins of Ardchattan Priory. The first thing you see coming through the door are some grave slabs. They're dated from the 15th to 16th century, with the exception of one, which is this one here, which they reckon is from the 10th century.
As we look at these beautifully carved headstones, it might be the right time to tell you of another story of someone else who could well be underneath this floor. The monks here managed to get themselves a nun from Kilmarnock convent and kept her underneath the floorboards, where she entertained them in a very animalistic way on the odd evening. The prior found out about this and buried her alive somewhere underneath here. Apparently, her ghost still haunts this priory. We also have slabs here that mark where the stones were found, that were placed over in the shelter that Martin showed you around.
This is the one I've been looking for. This is Somerled MacDougall's grave, along with several other members of his family. The MacDougalls held most of this land. They were originally from Norway. They've loads of castles in this area. There's Dunollied and Staffnage, Kirk Castle and Mull. They basically controlled all the islands. He was known as Lord of the Isles. One more interesting thing I found out about the MacDougalls in this area is that Duncan MacDougall's son was Ewan MacDougall. Ewan was one of the ones who stopped the Vikings invading under King Haakon in this area because of blood ties between Ewan and King Haakon. Now, when King Haakon eventually decided to invade Scotland and there was an ensuing battle of Largs, Ewan actually fought with the Scottish. Most of the priory is pretty much in ruins just now. This is one of the newer sections. This is the Ardchattan Isle, it's called. This is some of the Campbell graves, some of the newer ones. There's another section just across there, I think Julie's filming in just now. That was called the Loughnell Isle, and that's some of the older Campbell graves. One thing I'm looking for just now, apparently there is a keystone over one of the arches showing some kale leaves. Now, kale leaves were the kind of motto for the monks, the priors that originally lived here, but I'm struggling to find it. This is the Loughnell Isle, where there's lots of the Campbell graves.
Now we are in an area of the priory where many of the Campbell clan have been buried. Folklore notably alleges that Colin Campbell is also buried here. He was the Red Fox. He was the victim of murder in Appin, allegedly by the Stuarts, and allegedly the Stuarts know who killed him. but they've kept it a secret and carried it down through the generations. When Colin Campbell was murdered, it was pretty much used as a political showcase, so the Campbells could make themselves known as victims of all this. They displayed Colin's body in Burcaldine House, which he now haunts, and they kept the funeral held back until all the clansmen could arrive for the service. Incidentally, the story of Colin Campbell the Red Fox is actually a basis for Robert Louis Stevenson's Kidnap. Another notable person buried in this priory, although we cannot find the grave, is John Carswell. John Carswell first wrote the Book of Common Order into Gaelic, and he was buried here in 1572. The priory was dedicated to St. Voden, and it was the Vallasculian monks from Burgundy who founded it. They also have links at Pluscarden Abbey and Beaulieu. It was founded in 1230 by Duncan MacDougall. He was then Lord of
Summerland MacDougall. That is the MacDougall cross.
The gardens at Ardchattan have been beautifully maintained and manicured for the last 100 years, including this rather impressive magnolia. I need to get up close to this one. It's beautiful. Oh.
We're now heading up there somewhere to find an old ruined church, or what's left of it. According to the sign back there, it's about a mile, and according to the Ordnance Survey map, it's about 75 metres up, so it shouldn't be too much of a hike.
We walk up to the old Ardchattan kirk. It's worth mentioning that the yew trees at Ardchattan Priory are very significant. In 1314, King Robert the Bruce came and surveyed the yew trees in order that the branches be turned into longbows for the Battle of Bannockburn. Before that, in 1308, he also conducted the last Scottish Parliament that was conducted in Gaelic.
The map lied. It's not directly north. It's up there. She's giving me grief again. I've made her walk through dirt. That treacherous river crossing here. We end up with wet feet. Ah! Julie thinks we're lost. I try to tell her I know exactly where I'm going. I'm a professional, I know exactly where I am. Don't know if you can see it, there's a red squirrel on that branch. He just ran right in front of us.
Can I have one?
No! We don't need a squirrel. Just noticed the deer up on top of the hill there. Absolutely raging I haven't brought my big camera. A proper monarch of the Glen picture, it would have been. You don't want to come too close to this bit. There's not much left of this church. Well, it's a ruin anyway, but
It's really worth the walk.
it was worth. Despite there not being much left of this, it still seems quite solid. There's trees growing through the walls though. It's a bit odd. Apparently they cut some of the trees back to stop it pulling the rest of the walls down. But you can see up there's bits of tree, and there's like an entire tree trunk growing through this one here. I think the tree trunk's probably the only thing holding that wall up. It must have collapsed a bit more in the last 30 or so years. We had a look at the Canmore website and it mentioned that both gable ends had windows. But if you look at this other gable end, there isn't one. You notice there's gravestones inside it. That seems quite common in, well, certainly in some of the old Scottish churches in the ruins. A lot of the churches, when they were abandoned, they would then start burying the bodies inside. Church is in a pretty spectacular sight, I'll give it that. It's sort of looking right across Loch Etive. And you've got Ben Cruachan up there, you've got Dead Coimead over there, you've got Mull over there, Ben Laura over there. What we thought was supposed to be the Campbell graves, or Campbells of Breadalbin graves, but when I actually look at them, they're Stuarts. Not too bad for being 500 years old. Now we just need to get back down the hill without breaking our necks.
Can we have one?
No, we're not having a sheep.
Only a lamb.
It's still a sheep. It will grow. Well, that was Ardchattan. The priory, the old church, and the grave slabs, and the gardens. Hope you enjoyed it. It's our first video, hence all the mistakes and being factually incorrect pretty much all the way through it.
Pardon?
Well, my bits were wrong. But, well, hope you enjoyed it, and we'll have more videos up soon. See ya.
The priory was dedicated to St. Woden by the Vallasculian. As we walk up to cow paths.
What's for dinner?
Food.
What kind of food?
Food that you would be incapable of cooking.
Okay. You just hit the Subaru.